Hi guys, so this is the first time that I have taken a interview from the blog and uploaded it in video format. It's just a little experiment. So I apologise for the terrible video quality. I literally just bought a halfway decent webcam, if I'm being completely honest. But hopefully it'll improve in the future because I'm going to get a proper camera to do the interviews with and upload them. But yeah, I hope you guys like the interview. I hope it sheds some new light on the game. And without further ado, I'll get into it. Awesome. So let's talk about Space Cats.
All right.
It's a very unique idea, to say the least. Not least because you're playing, obviously, a cat super soldier. There seems to be some unique gameplay elements to the game. Was there anything in particular that inspired these, or did it all come from you and your friends?
Well, actually, it's only me on the team. I'm doing this as a solo project. Of course, I'm working with some freelance artists, which I really appreciate their help with the game.
Yeah.
The game initial idea started actually from a meme from
Right.
StarCraft 2. There was a point when somebody took like a cat and he put it inside of a spacesuit. So
Right.
this is somehow inspired me to make a game with cats as a race. And in terms of gameplay mechanics, the game is inspired a lot by FTL and by XCOM.
Yeah. I did notice that with the change between ship to the individual rooms. I thought that was a very good element.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most fun parts about my game is the fact that you can zoom in and out
Yeah.
to basically play two kinds of game in the same game. And I think it works really well.
Definitely. You've said that the story of the game is driven by choices. Will there be multiple endings, or is it more about the characters' development and how they look and feel when they finish the story?
So the choices you're gonna get first would be kind of between good and evil. You can be more of a pirate and more of a mercenary. You can help people or you can rob them. And those things have consequences in terms of who you're gonna fight. Maybe there will be more police after you, or maybe there are gonna be some evil pirates after you. I do also have a bit of things about character arc, and they develop over time, and stuff that you can choose to say might affect that thing. And in the end, there are right now I'm planning to have two endings,
Right.
and that you should be able to choose. I don't want to say more about it, but
Of course, yeah. You don't want to
yeah,
ruin the ending. But
exactly.
there'll be a lot of room for those who like to roleplay at least.
Yes.
Um, in the Kickstarter, there's a reference to exploring these different large levels in an almost open world way. Um,
Yeah.
how limited is the player going to be in terms of the levels they can explore at any one time? Will there be a situation where players are like, oh, I mustn't go there because it's like loads of high level creatures, or will it be slowly kind of you're giving them more and more options as where they can go?
So there is like a local map it's like a level that you can fly and explore at whatever pace that you want.
Yeah.
But then you can also warp out, and then you have like a galaxy view. So, and that place you can choose to go in whatever order you want. So you can go and explore far places, and there might be some side quests that would make you stronger. You can find some cool items and cool upgrades to your ship. And there will be places that will be too hard for you to go at a certain point. Maybe if you're like really good at tactics, maybe you can survive. So some players will be rewarded by getting those, let's say, upgrades faster.
Yeah.
And I also want to do that you will be able to even fly back to places that you already visited. Maybe after you get stronger, you can now maybe fight an encounter and get that reward from there.
Right.
So the big map has like, there is like a path that you should travel, like the main best paths. But you can also at any point just choose to go different places.
So there is a lot
It's
of
a bit of
freedom.
an open. Yes, there is a lot of freedom in that.
And there's actually three interfaces then. It's not just the ship and then the individual rooms. You've also got the galaxy itself.
Yeah, that is a bit like a level selection screen in a way.
Right.
Kind of if you play the Mass Effect, and you can like go to the galaxy and tell the Normandy where to fly,
Yeah.
and then that's a new level. So it's that kind of interface.
Are there going to be different builds and play styles, or is it more going to be about there's a certain kind of, you're going to want to upgrade all aspects of your ship, or could players, for example, go for a sneakier, faster, high damage ship as opposed to one that can take a lot of damage?
So I don't want to make available all the upgrades to the player at the same playthrough.
Yeah.
You would have some sort of builds that you can try to customize it yourself. So you can get new kind of rooms into your ship, and each room inside of it has different mods that you can unlock. So for example, the bridge room had a mod that you can buy that allows you to hack and to make them your allies. The engine room has an upgrade that you can, instead of move somewhere, you can teleport, like blink.
Right.
And depending on how much you spend your resources, you can buy different rooms and different kind of mods for those rooms, so you can create kind of your own play style. Sometimes you just want to sneak, sometimes you just want to fly faster, sometimes you just want to kill everything. So there will be a lot of available skills in the end, because everything you're doing with the rooms in the end is affected in your action bar. And your action bar could have a different kind of skills depending on your place.
So it's all really about experimentation for the player themselves, finding what works for them in terms of their playstyle.
Yeah. And some skills had a large cooldown, and then you don't want to just play with those because they're like overpowered. So you need to find the right balance. In addition to all of that, if you take the elements from FTL, so sometimes something bad happened to your ship. So a room can be on fire, or there is an intruder there, and then that could mess up your whole build.
Right.
And then you have to adapt. You have to suddenly use skills that you're not used to, because you only have different kinds of room available to you right now. And you still want to survive the outside battle while dealing with the stuff going inside.
You don't want to focus any too much on one room, because then that's your vulnerability.
Yeah, so if you're like really focused on missiles, and then that missile room is done, and all the other stuff is kind of not that great, you need to find new and creative ways to maybe win those battles.
Yeah.
But I find those moments really fun, because that moment when things go wrong, these are like the best moments to find new tactical way to win a battle.
Definitely, and you feel so much prouder afterwards as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of sense of achievement after you that.
So when I was reading through your Kickstarter when I first saw your game, it was immediately apparent that there was quite a fleshed out story to it, almost from the get-go. If the game performs successfully upon launch, can players expect to see a sequel or another game in the same universe in the future, or is this a one-time project?
It's a really interesting question. There's a big part of me that wanna make this journey, maybe even a trilogy.
Wow.
But as I'm one developer, and maybe I will get help after the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Life could get in the way, and maybe if the game is not a success, then I wouldn't want to continue it.
Yeah.
However, if the game would succeed and there would be like a nice community of players and love the game, I would really want to expand it to a trilogy, because trilogy are fun.
That's really interesting. You've mentioned before that you've worked on both AAA and indie games. What would you say was the biggest challenge that you didn't expect when you were then just solo developing your own game?
So the problem with solo development is that there is no one to talk to about the difficulties, and if you're stuck, you can get stuck for weeks, and there's nobody who can save you.
Yeah.
And that's different from AAA, because in AAA you're like a big team, and everybody is like super professional, so you can get a lot of help. Although there are big differences also in terms of how big you are as a person in the project. So in an indie game, you're doing everything. So you have a lot of, sense of reward. And in a AAA company, you're one, small part of a bigger thing. So you don't feel as impactful on the project.
Right. So there's a lot more kind of creative freedom on this smaller game because you're the solo developer.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, one more question, and this is to anyone who's viewing or reading this now. If you could say one thing to any fans of Space Cats or anyone else that's seen it for the first time, what would it be?
Good luck, have fun. No, I'm kidding.
It's okay. You can take your time.
I would say maybe I would want to inspire others to maybe make their own games, because right now there are a lot of tools available. There are a lot of people who really want to team up, and students of art and 3D people and programmers. Everybody, I think, should try to find small teams and just try to create their dreams, because it gives a lot of rewards to actually work on something and to see it, coming alive. And I've been doing this for 4 years now, spending most of my weekends and my evenings on it, and it gives such a nice feeling to see that there are so many people who want to play the game, people who are wishlisting, people who pledge on Kickstarter. And I would want to say that everybody should experience that.
Yeah.
If you're into gaming and you know a bit of development, then you should try it. You should finally try it.
Awesome. I think that's a great closing statement. I think that's the best one I've ever had, to be honest. Most people are just saying, go buy my game.
Yeah. I really feel like this way.
Well, that's beautiful, man. Thank you for
Thank you.
Conducting the interview with me.
No, that's fun.
Alex's project is currently 90% funded, and there's 3 days left to go on the Kickstarter. I personally think it would be a real shame if he didn't get all the funding he wanted before the time ends. So if you want to go support him, I'll link the Kickstarter down below. And like I said, this is the first video format that I've done of the interviews. In the future, I'm hoping to get better sound quality, better video quality, and I will get a paid intro and outro. At the moment, I'm just using a free template. But yeah, if you liked the video, please leave a like and a comment. Thanks, guys.